This is Adekyn with part 2 of Across the Rhine. We're hurrying up with three builder camps. I guess I could take a quick word about builder camps. They reduce your production time, build time, if you will, by 50% for each one, up to a maximum of 80%, I believe it is. So there's a point there where building more doesn't make any faster. So in other words, 10 building camps do not go any faster than 3 or 4. And I don't know the exact math to say whether it's 3 or 4 is the perfect, but I find 3 is a good number to build. So if I have the money and can do it, and I want something built quickly. If it's in one of those things that takes a while, like an auxilia or a military academy, or one of the monuments or something, then I'll make sure that there are 3 building camps influencing it and making it go faster. So anyway, now we're getting set. We're just about ready to get our elephants started and start drafting those. We're increasing because we don't have the prefecture. We're finding that got to increase our brick and log production in order to accommodate further building. So we're going to build a kind of a third logging we just built there. It's just finishing up, and we'll then build a third log or a third brickwork, and that'll give us a few more building materials to work with. So there you can see some of the Allied troops from that village coming out, because we've got some enemies gathering up there just across the bridge, across the Rhine River from us. And what we're looking at here now is we want to build an outpost. And again, I'm low on building materials, which is just starting to irritate me a little bit. I don't like to slow down. So again, go back, build that prefecture. It matters. Saving those materials is huge. So I'm going to try to place it in a place where I can save a lot of materials and staff it with an equite. I started up there and I moved it back down because I wanted near the entertainment, and now I'm in much better shape. So now we move forward a little bit. We've got that built, and now sure enough we've got the building materials we need to build our outpost. So we put our 3 building camps there, and we're going to set up some brickworks and get that marble so we can build some more advanced buildings. So we just keep everybody training up. We keep gathering our troops down there. We'll eventually have 2 war elephants, Hastati and a Nubian warrior. And here comes the slave camp, and then we're going to go right on past that and move forward a little bit. Now we're actually starting into the battles, and we're crossing the first bridge. The enemy came over in a small group and started messing with us, so now we're just counterattacking. We're going to go ahead and get rid of those first enemy, and then what we're going to use is the tower attack. We're going to build a forward fort to help us with the rather significant enemy you'll see that we have to fight here. So we're going to move our troops over and build an outpost as soon as we finish off that enemy. And had we had a triari here, of course, the thing to do would have been to march the triari over in turtle formation first and draw all the fire, and let our other troops come in behind and clean up. But didn't have one because we went with the war elephants and didn't really have the iron or anything to support another type of build, but no matter. War elephants are just fine, believe me. So now we're going to build that forward fort, and we're getting a little low on funds, so we're going to use our taxes again to give us some money. And checking out our stone situation, because now, as we've said in other videos, you need stone and denarii to build these forward forts, or these tower attacks, to make these tower attacks. So we're just going to make sure that we're trading off all the slaves that we have available and keeping our income up as high as we can. We notice that we've got some more opportunities for trade, so we're just going to throw down another trade post. The beauty of these land trade posts is you build them, you need another insulator to support them, and sure enough, you put the insulator in the right place and you get 5 more goods to trade. So it just helps itself. So now we move our troops out of the way and start building our towers for this forward fort, and you'll see how important that fort is in just a moment when you see what we have to battle here. Now we've got our 4 squads, and we're just waiting on these forts, the towers, to finish. When they do, then we can go up and start attacking the enemy. But in the meantime, let's let some of these guys start doing a little bit of training. Anybody who's got some training room left that haven't quite been gotten all their max experience yet, we'll just go ahead and train them up while those towers are building. And we're going to make a pretty good size fort here, or at least the start of one. We actually don't have enough resources to actually finish the fort, but we can get a good start on it and have some working towers that'll really help us in the battle. So we're just about ready to go ahead and start the battle. So we're regrouping these guys to put the elephants in the first group, and the two kind of our ranged units, the Astadi and the Nubian warriors, in the second unit. And those other red flags you see over there, that's actually our allies that are kind of out checking things out. In fact, at one point you may see me go back and check that. I just want to make sure I wasn't missing my own troops there. So now we're going to engage these guys, and we're going to do it right in the shadow of our own tower. So we're going to force the enemy to fight us where we want, which is in the towers. And you can see the towers have already engaged him, and he's already started going in to attack the towers, which just totally distracts the enemy and allows your troops to just come in pretty much unharmed and bang away at them till you get rid of them. You also notice I'm making sure I make use of my special abilities and have the Astadi and the Nubian in particular use their special abilities and target one of those squads to greatly weaken them. You can also see to the left there we're fighting a fairly big group, and off to the left, sure enough, here comes another set, and those are the troops from the village. So what we're going to want to do here is engage them and then pull them closer to the right of the screen, if you will, so that we can get them in the range of those towers, and that's going to make our battle with this village much easier. So we're just going to watch, and if you notice, one of our war elephants is taking a lot of the battle. He's fighting a lot of troops at one time. So we're going to have to move him back and retreat him, and that's actually good, because that's exactly what we want to do, is get these guys to follow us. Because one of the problems here is, so you see those bow maiden, those ranged units from the village, actually were able to engage us before they moved very far, so they're actually out of range of our towers. But when we start to retreat, we're going to lure them over and actually get them in the range of the towers, and then they won't have a chance. Now, we could I don't think they would have lasted too awful long even without the towers at this point, but the towers, of course, are what got us to this point. So we're just going to retreat that one wounded war elephant squad back inside the range of the military camp, so it can start the hill. And now you can see his troops are being lured in because they were trying to attack that one squad. So as he retreats, they go after him. Then they come into the range of our towers, plus our other troops are going to hit them really from behind, so they have no chance now, because they're being hit by the towers and by our troops. So we're just double checking our time to make sure we're good, and actually it turns out we're good, but we can't dawdle around here. We've got to get this done. We've got a few minutes left on our 25-minute timer. So we're just going to go in and take that camp. And when you take this particular camp, you have a couple of options. One would be just to raise it, which is what I did, and just take the money and the slaves right away from it. But the other thing here in this particular one, it wouldn't have been a bad move at all to leave it there, because it will build up its own troops, and you can lure the enemy from the camp to the left over here to fight them. But I didn't really have the luxury of enough time to do that in this case, so I decided to just go ahead and raise it. And what I'm going to do is drop down another fort down here, and you'll see that what we're going to do to free up our resources, we're going to abandon the fort we first built. We're just going to demolish that fort, and we're going to start a second fort, and it won't take much. We're just going to have like 3 towers that are going to help us with the final battle. So we'll place an outpost down here very close to that particular barbarian village, and in fact that was aggressively close. And you can see here I'm destroying all those towers. We're basically abandoning this fort, and then we're going to go with our other fort over here more to the left. So now we're just kind of fast forwarding into the battle. I do want to show you one thing. We're using one of the powers from the expansion, the Intimidate a Village, and now you'll notice if you can see the red on each of the enemy troops, they're all demoralized. It was a very easy victory. I hope you got something out of this, and I hope you enjoyed it.